So I wanted to talk about this story before I forget. This is for my mother. This is a story that you will be able to verify if Frankie's okay. And Julian would be able to verify this as well. We went into, I'll have to draw probably pictures to see if Julian can also verify what I'm saying. We used to go to Don Pablo's, which is an old Mexican restaurant, went out of business many years ago in Louisville. It's literally right across the street from Vista Ridge Mall. And we used to go there and used to get fajitas. And we went there and had a decent time the first couple times. And it was like always a big thing when we went there, right? To everybody that can afford to go places like that, went there all the time like it was casual, but it was like a special occasion for us. And anyway, it was Frankie's birthday. Frankie's birthday is like a couple days after Christmas, but I want to say it was Frankie's birthday because I remember it being cold. And we went there, and we saw, and see, my mother used to talk to Diana, saying, oh yeah, we always go to Don Pablo's on his birthday, do whatever. So they know all the ins and outs to everything. So we go, me, Frankie, Julian, my mom only, go over to Don Pablo's to get something to eat. When we show up, Diana and Miguel are there, eating at the restaurant, like almost in the center of the place, or like kind of to the side, to the center, but they're not like in a hidden corner or anything like that, but like kind of in the center. We walk in. Now my mother got slapped and fell on the ground and hit by this woman when I was about, it was after my dad's suicide. I was like 12 or 13, something like that. But it was like right after my dad's suicide. And anyway, Frankie is about 16. I think it was Frankie's 16th birthday. I want to say it was his 16th birthday. And when we get there, we sit down and eat. And Miguel and Diana are just by themselves. Mickey's not there. And we're sitting in the sort of against the wall in the corner, sort of in the center, but against the wall. And Julie and me and Frankie are eating. We order our meals. Miguel and Diana, and I look over at my mom and say, hey, look, is Diana and Miguel. And my mom says, oh, like this, like behaving like this. They're not there probably 5 minutes before Diana does this and gets up very quickly and slides the chair, like moves in a very aggressive way, and my mother does this, goes like this, totally in submission, like I better do what I say or otherwise I know it's gonna happen. And I look at my mother like she's not behaving right, and I go, Mom, are you okay? And Frankie looks over at Miguel and Diana, and the food shows up, and I notice my mom's eyes get glossy, almost kind of like I know something's wrong. She's thinking very heavily and traumatized. And I don't remember if her eyes got red or not, but I want to say that you could see emotion in her eyes. And when this happens, my mom's sitting, and she's just kind of like retracted, like just staring at Frankie, just looking at it. And my mom, our food shows up, and we begin eating, and Frankie is just like, no, it's okay, Mom, it's okay. And I want to say Frankie looks over to his right, because it was to his right. And Frankie said, oh no, it's okay, Mom, here. You see? Yeah, think, Mom, yeah, it's good food. And this is how he's behaving. And I want to say that my mom's eyes got red. Like, either that's the thing, I still don't know and believe that my mother knew that Frankie raped Miguel. I really don't believe that. I knew that Frankie got hit, my mom checked him, but my mother didn't look further past that. I really genuinely don't think that my mom knew the whole time. She wouldn't have been talking to Miguel or Diana. And so we're eating at the table, and we get there, and it was my mother was like, I remember very well my mother just sitting there, just looked like her eyes glossy, and her just like, I can't believe that this is happening and on Frankie's birthday. This is Frankie's birthday. We finish our meal and just we go about our business, and we're in the car. My mother then begins to say, it's like, oh no, it's okay. Okay, it's your birthday. But she's being total submissive. Like, you can rape me, you can rape my sons, you can slap me, you can do, because no one is going to show up. You have to make the best of it and be submissive. You don't obey, you're going to get what you know what you're going to get. The money in Barack Obama is going to show up, and it's time for payday. And it's very upsetting because obviously Barack Obama was not involved at this time, but this is what my memory curses me in very badly, and it's very painful. So, fast forward. This is the last restaurant that I ever ate with my mother on my birthdays, and it was I think it was my 15th birthday. I want to say it was my 15th birthday, maybe even 16th. Could have been my 16th birthday. And me, I don't know, dealing with this, I don't know. I asked my mom, I said, Mom, can we go get something to eat? And my mom was in the worst mood. She didn't want to do anything for my birthday. She was just like, she's like, okay, yeah, let's go for your birthday. And I was like, well, what do you want? Because I asked my mom, I said, Mom, can you take us to go? I said, Mom, we're just going to go get something to eat. Can we do something for my birthday? We can go to just Don Pablo's, and I can take Richard Murphy and Jeremy Keene. Richard and Jeremy Keene. For those that know, Richard Murphy, childhood friend, and Jeremy Keene, military veteran, Marine. But this is before they enjoyed when we were still in high school. I think it was middle school. Yeah, it was middle school. It was in 8th grade, I want to say. Could have been freshman year, but I'm going to say it was 8th grade. I was 15 or 16, could have been 16. It was one of those years. So we go there and we eat. Ask Richard Murphy and Jeremy Keene. My mother was not in the mood to want to do anything, and she was behaving like it was a chore to even want to celebrate my birthday and just get something to eat. And my mom, and we got in a little bit of an argument in the car, and my mom got in the car and she kind of roared the engine a little fast. And we're in the parking lot. We finally parked, and Richard and Jeremy were like, "Damn, she's not in a good mood." They could tell my mom was not happy. And I had not started an argument with my mother. There had been nothing wrong, so it had to have been something else that I don't know about. We sit down and eat, and my mom is just like, I've never seen her behave like this. She's just almost like she kind of wanted to get rid of me. And there was a lot of pressure being put on her, a lot of pressure. And she just was getting a lot of pressure. We're sitting down and eating. Julian, I don't think, was with us. He could have been. You'd have to ask Julian. We're eating our meals. We're joking around. And we took a picture. I don't know if this picture still exists. I don't know if Jeremy and Richard still have it or my mother still has it. But there's a picture of when we went to, and they started to sing happy birthday to me in front of everyone with the Don Pablo's. Because Don Pablo's back in the day, when it was your birthday, they bring you I don't know, a dessert or something. I don't know what it was, or they sing you happy birthday. You get 15% off or something. And then the people came, and the waiter, and I don't know if it was a group of people, but they just started singing happy birthday, and they put a sombrero on. So when it's your birthday, they put a sombrero on. So they brought a sombrero, a big sombrero. They put it on my head, and they started to sing happy birthday. And my mother was just, I could see on her face, she was just pouting. And I didn't know what was wrong. I don't know, something had happened that I didn't understand and associate. And Richard Murphy and Jeremy Murphy were laughing, pointing and laughing at me. Ah, look at you fucking Mexican. Oh, you look so funny Mexican. In front of my mother. I promise to God that this was happening. I'm laughing in front of everybody. And they were all laughing and pointing. You look so funny. You look so funny with sombrero. laughing. What do you think that made my mother feel like in her Mexican heritage? What do you think that made my mother think that not only that, but it's two white people that are doing it on a birthday that she doesn't want to be there, and you started singing happy birthday in front of everybody, and we took a picture and we left. And my Jeremy told me, he goes, yeah, your mother didn't look like she was very happy. Like, yeah, your mom didn't look like she was wanting to do anything. Because Jeremy and Richard, they lived a very luxury life where when they celebrated and went to a birthday, it was a very special event. And I never did that. And they were used to that. So they thought it was a custom for me to do the same thing. But they didn't know in the world that I lived in. But I remember them pointing and laughing hysterically. Like, not like laughing with you, laughing at you. And they were doing this in front of my mother. Like, I'm Mexican. Like, my mother's a wetback jumping over the fucking fence as a prostitute, and the horrors that happen. When you do that in front of people, you do that to a Mexican person, especially one like that, and you do that to your son in front of everybody, you start singing happy birthday, and it's like a white lady singing happy birthday. What do you think that my mother made her feel like even then? See, there's all these surprises that happen in life, and I thought it was important for me to share this story. So you will be able to verify this story with Richard Murphy and Jeremy Keene. And my mother, I know my mother's not mentally okay, but there may be a picture. There's probably still a picture of it. I don't know if my mother kept it or not. My mother always kept pictures. Moms always do that, right? But my mother always kept photos. Like, my mother used to keep anything that was memorable that she could keep to herself. Like, when I was a kid, she did this. I don't think she did this with Frankie, but she did this, I think, also with, like, she got, like, I know she kept clips of my hair. She kept clips of my fingernails, you know, like little baby, like the first time she ever clipped my fingernails, she kept my fingernails in a plastic little sandwich bag and a lock of my hair when it first came out. And also she kept my circumcision ring. Believe it or not, it's a circumcision ring. When you have when you're circumcised, when babies get circumcised, well, back then everyone doesn't, but I did. My dad, my father who raised me required it, you know, with all my brothers, because it's healthier and better for the woman and better for health. So they circumcise it, and when the flesh dries, it turns into a ring. And my mother kept that. I promise to God, my mother showed me the bag of my own. My mother showed me the bag of my own nails, first clipped nails, a piece of my hair, and my circumcision ring. And she did this with Frankie. I don't think she kept the circumcision with Frankie, but she did keep like a hairlock of Frankie, or like she started to do it with me. And she did it with Julian as well. So I thought it was important, but I want to say that with Julian, I'm not sure she kept the circumcision ring, but she did keep, I think, his fingernails and a hairlock as well. But with me, she kept more. With Frankie, I think she just kept the nails and a hair, or just like a hairlock. But I think it was important for me to talk about this because my mother always kept pictures, and she kept, you know, like things that I gave my mother when I was a little kid. And I think it's important for me to talk about this because if my mother kept things, she might have thrown it away. She wouldn't have thrown it away. I highly doubt. I think my mother still has the picture, but it's me, Eva Sombrero, Richard Murphy, and Jeremy Murphy, and they're all kind of smiling and laughing. But the way that Richard and Jeremy were laughing, it was laughing at me entirely. And I remember my mother looking over at Richard, like, look at him like, these are your fucking friends? Like, you're fucking Mexican. Like, you're Mexican. They're laughing. But I sort of played along with it, and it bothered me. I didn't say anything, but it bothered me because the way they were kind of laughing was like laughing at me, not like it was like laughing at me because I looked stupid with a clown hat, and that's what it looked like. That's kind of how it participated. And the waiter, who's white, shows up, and when they were singing, we're sort of gravitating toward Richard Murphy and Jeremy Murphy because they were laughing because they're white. And so my mother just standing there like, oh, doing that. So I thought it was important for me to talk about, to make up the story. But you can talk to my mother, talk about Frankie, about whether he remembers or not, and or you maybe to get that picture. You can also verify that. I don't know who's doing the psychological evaluations, if this is any, but I thought it was worth me talking about, at least whoever I can share this with. There you go.